Hey, good day again. Darwin Conley, Director of Agent Performance and Development. You guys will get to know me quite a lot through all of these videos. So what you should have in front of you now is the new listing broker requirements. We're simply going to take our time to go through this and explain how you actually complete it and why certain things are in there. I am going to be using today the Remind Docs Plus system. So as you're looking at this, that's what you are seeing. To the left is going to be all the documents that you will likely find within the new listing package. And I'm going to start it right here with, again, the new listing broker requirements. So this is going to be simple. It is a PDF file, and it is what they refer to as a smart form. So as we go through, you'll see that this will highlight. The property address is the address itself. Is it a city, a township, a village? Obviously, we put the zip code to it. What county is it in? You'll also have the tax ID number. It pops up here, says property address. That's not it. We know property address is here. This is the tax ID. What is the list price that you put on it? What is the date of the listing? And when does the listing expire? Now, condominium, is it a residential home? Is it vacant land? Is it a multi-family? Is it leased, or is it relocation? A condo, as we have learned in pre-license training, is anything that has a condominium legal description. If a property starts with unit number, it is highly, highly likely that it's a condo. If it is a lot and block, if it says lot number, it is a residential property. If it has the meets and bounds description, it's a single family residential property. And look, even a single family residential property in the state of Michigan that has a unit number condo, it's still single family residential. But in this case, we're going to check off condo. Check with your broker, see what they want to do. In the MLS, it's going to come down. That is a single family residential. The important part to understanding it's a condo is simply this. There's a condominium addendum that you're going to hear about later on that will need to be completed. From there, are you doing a lease, or is this a relocation also? So you could have this as a residential lease. Could be that you're going to show this as a residential and it is relocation. And that would likely come through our relocation department if you have that checked off. A short sale. You should have learned about this. They're few and far between now. But a short sale is simply a homeowner selling the property and then accepting that offer contingent upon their ability, the homeowner, getting an approval from the bank that they will accept short of what they are owed. And that's an agreement that has to be come up to with the lender. When you have something where somebody is upside down as a term and they would have to do a short sale, talk with your mentor, talk with your manager, and make sure that you get full understanding. These are saleable properties. From there, once we've got everything completed, we put the Real Comp MLS number, or if I'm part of the Michigan Real Source or MI Real Source, the MLS number, or if I'm a part of a different system, then the MLS number for that. But just put the appropriate MLS number for the system that you are part of, the multiple listing service. In here, obviously, again, as you can tell, as we hold over with this system, which again is the Remind Docs Plus, it will tell me what it's looking for. Not always is it going to be correct, but if you need an explanation, you may just do that. What is your cell number? What is your ID number? This is your license number. Most likely the last 6 is your MLS ID number. That's what they're looking for. Your email, which office are you with? What are the seller's legal names? In this case, I've put myself in here and my wife as the sellers. Our phone numbers, our marital status, our emails, each one of us, seller's current mailing address, if it's other than what the property address is. What's the forwarding address for the seller if they have that? Put it in there. All of this information, by the way, is used. So if you're wondering, well, why would they even have that? If I don't tell you that in this, just know that somewhere, someone associated with the transaction, in this case with the listing itself, will need that information. And just know that it needs to be there. So bottom line is fill everything out. Source of the client, is this your sphere of influence? Does this I'm going to call it a company generated lead off of the floor? It could be it was a sign call and you were on floor. I would check off sign in that case. Did it come from an online system? Was it a for sale by owner? If you've not heard that term, we use FSBO. Was it an expired listing because you're working these two? Zap as a system, or what will be Moxie in the near future if this overlaps. And of course, then there's relo or relocation, relo for short. And then if these don't apply, we're simply going to check off on other. And from there, who's the title company we're using? You are either using Title One or Grand Oaks. If for some reason, maybe the seller said, hey, I've got a friend who works at this title company, I want them to do the business, most likely not a problem. You're simply going to check other and then over here, put in who that title company is going to be, okay? Who's the contact, who's the phone number for them, what's their email address. Now, here's a key part. I need you to check with your manager and your administrator in the office. But what this simply states is, was it faxed or emailed to the title company for pre-title? If you did it, you're going to click yes. If you didn't do it, you're clicking no. If you click no, that's telling the administrator you need to order title work from the appropriate title company. And then on what date was that done, if it was done by you or whoever. All right. Then you got some questions that we need to answer. Is the property free and clear? Do they own it? Is it unencumbered? There's no mortgages against it. Most of them are going to be having a mortgage against it. Do you have a payoff letter or the authorization for the payoff, for the title company to pay that? It should be as part of your listing paperwork. I can think of, yes, almost all homes do have a first mortgage, in which case we're going to go ahead and type in who that would be. I'm just going to put Chase Bank in for this. As a matter of fact, the house I have listed has a second also, and I would make note of it that in this case it's PNC Bank, and I'm just going to let everybody know that this is a HELOC, or what you may have already learned, a home equity line of credit. Now, does it have a land contract on it? No. I'm going to say yes, this is in a trust, and it's in the I'll put it as the Darwin Conley Trust, whatever it's held at in regard to the title. That's what you're going to put. Will that seller or the reality, the trustee, be at the closing? Do you have a copy of the trust? The answer that you want to have is yes. Get a copy of the trust or a current certificate of trust. I'm going to leave that for your manager to be able to share with you a little bit more of what that certificate of trust is. And we'll run it from there. Was there a death? I'm going to say, well, no, what the heck? Let's say yes. And if so, guess what? Put it in the package. Have it and put it into the package. All of this we want to get to the title company in advance so that we know that everything is good. Now, obviously, there's a death, so we don't have to worry about a divorce decree. At least I would hope not. Anything's possible. But if there was a divorce or in a divorce, they're going to need something that says who or what is handling the sale of the property, who must, do they need to, have they agreed to it? And then on top of it, how is anything supposed to be handled or divided in regards to proceeds? Special assessments. Most of the time you're going to have a no, but here's the great part to using this while you're at the listing. You can ask the homeowner all of these questions and of course confirm. By the way, you are a U.S. citizen, is that correct? And let them tell you, no, it is not. If there's assessment details, quite often it is either paving, water, or sewer. Occasionally you might have a lighting, and even rarer is something outside of those. But what is it? Make sure that you have it there, and you want to know, is it assumable or not? Can the buyer take it on, or does the local municipality who holds the assessment, has issued the assessment, will they allow a new buyer, a new homeowner of that property to assume it? Often they will require that it not be assumed, but that it be paid off. Extremely important for you to know that going in before you ever accept an offer. Know whether or not there's any assessments and how they may be handled, and then address those in the purchase agreement as you go. Showing instructions, as simple as it says. Lockbox, show at any time. It could be seller will be home. Hopefully they're not, but whatever the showing instructions are, you want to put that in there. Lockbox, yes or no. What's the location? I am, by the way, going to encourage that if you're part of the RealComp MLS system, they will provide you electronic lockboxes at zero cost. Now, I say that meaning it's not going to cost you any more than what your system is charging you. However, they have increased the dues on a monthly, paid quarterly basis to cover the cost of lockboxes. They're at your disposal at no cost. Please make sure that you use them. It is far more simple to do. If look, if it's not that, you probably need the lockbox code here. Digital, electronic lockbox, you would not need that. Is there a surveillance system? Yes or no? Is there an alarm system? Yes or no? If there is, what's the code? All of this is going to have to be done for the purpose of showing the property and advising agents who are showing it what it is. You're going to have to specify the actual location as to where it is. There's nothing worse than having an alarm go off on you when you're showing a property. Notes to the showing agent, do they leave a card? Yes, we always leave a card whether it's specified or not. Lock all doors. It is this guy's rule that says if I haven't been told otherwise, lock all doors. I would much rather have somebody yell at me for having a door locked than leaving a door unlocked. So lock all the doors. But again, if there's specific instructions, check this off. Make sure it gets into all of the showing instructions. Now the sign. The company will order the sign for you, but it is paid at your expense. So when you have it, you're simply going to say, was the location of the sign where the homeowner wants it staked? Really, the check is here. Yes, it is, or no, it was not staked. In which case, we're leaving it up to the sign company to make sure that they place it in the right place. Who's the sign company used? Most of the offices have a sign company already selected. They'll know who to use. They're going to order it directly from that company. Sprinklers, do they have them? Yes, most homes do. And we want to put the sign company on alert that there is a sprinkling system out there so that they don't cut through the lines. And of course, lastly, You can order black, white, or champagne in regards to the sign post itself, the Century 21 Colonial Yardarm sign. That's going to cost you about 15, I don't know, 15, 16, $17 to have it installed, 15, 16, $17 to have it pulled out. And within those two numbers is the rental of the post. And as far as the company is going to pay for the panel itself. Now, the last thing, you probably found this out when you were recruited to our outstanding organization, is in regards to postcards. You will receive on a new listing 25 postcards that will go out to the surrounding neighbors. Now, if here, it's a yes. There's a rare circumstances where you're going to say no. And I'll give you an example what that might be, because they do go out as just listed. People might think it's a sale. I think you're safe on just listed. When we talk about just sold, well, a lease is not a sale. You might not want to do it, but discuss with your manager when it comes to that. From there, if I wanted to order 100 total, I'm going to put 75 in there, and I will be charged for those in regards to my office bill, but the office will make sure that both of these go out. Now, you can get a mailing list at no cost as to who that went to, so that you can work those in the future should you be able to or choose to do that. Just click yes, I want it, or no, I don't want it. Lastly, you have a checklist of the absolute required forms that must be turned in with the listing. These are absolutes, so make sure that you got all of them a part of it. Just check them off that, yep, I have all of these, and when I check them all off, that means I now have a complete package, and that property is going to get into the MLS. So there it is, the broker requirement, that document that tells everybody affiliated with the transaction in the real estate part of things that here's all the information you need to know on a single page. So gang, I'll run it from there. We'll see you shortly on another video.